Good evening, everyone. How are we? Hopefully the audio is not too loud. I'll turn it down a bit. Looks like I'm clipping a bit. What's everyone been up to? I'm just testing out a new mic here, so let me know how it sounds. I'm a bit raspy today and I didn't grab a drink. So we'll have to go grab a drink in a sec. Yeah, what's been happening? I forgot something. I'm streaming through OBS at the moment, not on YouTube, just to see how it goes and if it looks any better. Hopefully there's audio and videos in sync. We'll see how we go. I know the chat's a little bit delayed between the two, but wait for some more people to join. Who else is here? Make yourself known. Just wait for a few more people to join. What I might do, I might just quickly go grab myself a drink because I'm silly like that. So give me a moment, guys, and I will be right back. Alrighty. Hope the audio sounds alright. So who else we got besides the lurker here? Who else is hanging around for tonight's little chit chat and update and all that fun stuff? Conrad Cook, hi from New Zealand. Hey man, how you doing? It's got to be late for you guys over there, isn't it? Don't even know what the time difference is between Australia and New Zealand. Whereabouts are you? Christchurch? North? South? Wellington? One of those? We'll get a few more people join eventually. So I'm going to keep this a short stream tonight, an hour tops. Go over what I've been doing, all that fun stuff, and how my recovery is going and all that as well. So if you have any questions for me, 80 series or 90 series, feel free to ask. And I'll do my best to answer them. 10 o'clock. You know what? My geography is so bad. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that because I'll probably get it wrong. And I'd have to Google where that is over there. I do want to come to New Zealand one day. Looks nice over there. For sure. Well, get a bit more light in the room. There we go. $10 not bad. 2.5 hours. It's alright. There'll be more of a difference, but I guess daylight savings will change that. What do you drive, man? You an 80 series boy or a 90 series boy? We're almost 7 minutes in. 3 people here. Might get more as the stream goes on, but yeah, we'll get into it anyway. So, how's my recovery going? Well, I've hit a wall again. So, I was improving. I went from like arm out here, arm here. Now I'm arm here, but that's it. Compared to this side, I've got a long way to go yet. So, yeah, I've hit a wall. Physio said I hit a wall. I'm starting to get more arm pain and stuff again now, so seeing a doctor about that, and yeah, we'll see how that all goes. I have to get a cortisone shot in my joint again, so, and hopefully that will expand the joint and allow me to get a bit more movement and a bit more benefit out of my physiotherapy that I have every week. So. Just an 80 series, boy, 90 series, man. Yeah, my chat's taking forever to update on here. Don't know if I'm going to keep the chat up on the screen. I might just go off the that tells me who's here. Oh, it's weird. I'm going to go over to here. It tells me participants. Oh, it tells me over there too. Okay. Yeah. Alright, get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm going to go off the chat on this screen. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm reading. Actually, I know what I can do. I got an idea. Pop that out. Put that over here, and then I can read it there. There we go. Sweet. No worries. Honda Accord, hey? Can't say I've ever owned a Honda. I don't think I ever will. Yeah, so just an update with my shoulder there at the moment. Just here, kind of hit a bit of a wall. You know, I'm better than where I was, which was, you know, not being able to lift it very high at all. So yeah, I can do awnings. That's my main concern, was doing awnings, but lifting and stuff, I'm still very much not able to lift anything at all yet. Turka, how you doing, buddy? Been a while. So yeah, 80 series. So I've been doing a little bit on the 80. Haven't done a video on it yet, but I will be. But I'll mention it on the stream here. So when I bought it, it had an ARB bull bar, worn winch, ARB roof rack. And the ARB roof rack, all the powder coat started chipping off. So through SBH engineering, I had it repowder coated, but I also had 4mm mesh added to it, so I can actually tie stuff down to it, because it is a tradie rack, so it was just straight bars across, you know, in certain areas, and it was useless for tying anything down or mounting solar panels or anything like that, which is probably what's going to happen in the future. So what I've done there is, yeah, new powder coat, ordered some new resin decals from a company here in South Australia who posted them out to me. It's 25 bucks for 2 decals. I've had it completely refurbished, and it's all covered on my insurance. So my rack, which is a $1,200 rack, is now worth like $2,200. I did call insurance and asked them if they would be able to do it, and it went through. So I'm like, sweet, no worries. So I've done that. I've added a 23-0 Falcon 270 passenger side awning, just because I was having problems unrolling a straight out awning at the time, and I went, you know what, may as well buy it. It's what, 10-15 kilos I think it is off the side of the car, which isn't too bad. I don't notice it up there, which is good. And yeah, I get the full 360 coverage. It's freestanding for setup. I will get some walls for it later, and I can completely enclose it for bad weather during winter, which would be pretty good. So I tested that out up the Kura on New Year's Day. If you haven't seen those videos yet, they're up on YouTube. And I'll just kind of split it over 2 days. and gave the 80 series a good full drive system test, which I had problems with then as well. I'll get more into that in a little bit. So, done all the awning and everything. Obviously, first time out in the crash pad swag, which was awesome, really comfortable, heaps of room. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a swag. My previous one that was stolen during the rollover was just a June bar one from Anaconda here, and that did me fine for two and a half years. So, oh, excuse me. What else? So yeah, I've got that on a crash pad stretcher as well, and yeah, super comfortable. Had a pretty good night's sleep, stayed warm, and yeah. What else? So yeah, obviously I went out on that trip. Haven't got a proper water set up yet, so I've still got to do that. I'm only running a Red Arc SBI 12 battery isolator to connect my 2 batteries under the bonnet. I think my auxiliary at the moment, because the one that was in there failed, is 75 amp hour. So I don't get a lot of usage out of it, and it's only just a lead acid battery, so works well for charging, that sort of things. But yeah, I'm getting a DC charger in the car. I've got that here. It's ready to go on. And what else? Yeah, so if you followed Instagram, I don't know if any of you guys have Instagram or not. If you don't, it's OzTrax 4x4 on Instagram. I've got a little bit of an update on there, a little while back now, of a rear wheel carrier that I'm working on. So I picked up a Kmart right hand side rear wheel carrier, which is pretty rare and hard to get. And the bracket I got with it was angle grinded in half because it was rusty, and the dude couldn't get it out of the car. So I'm actually getting that refabricated now through SPH Engineering. That'll be this week sometime. He's doing a jig up and gonna tack weld it all together, and then we're gonna test fit it. Got to move my trailer plug socket because that's now in the way of where it'll latch down. And I've got to make a license plate relocation bracket for it and add some license plate lights onto that for nighttime driving. Excuse me. Oh, horrible tonight. Sorry, guys. So yeah, the issue with the license plate is that you can buy these offset brackets for the 80 series. But with these offset brackets, they're not actually out far enough. So they should be where a 90 series Prado sits for your license plate, because you're meant to have 45 degrees of viewing angle from 20 meters. That's left and right, top and bottom. But this offset one puts it right next to the wheel and back towards the body, which would block it from the right hand side. So you wouldn't be able to see anything. It's kind of illegal. So yeah, that made as well. Got a DC charger bracket, custom one being made for under the bonnet. Once that's in, then I'm either going to look at running maybe an AGM under the bonnet in my secondary battery location, or I'm going to run a lithium in the back. But I haven't decided how far I'm going to go with that yet. Haven't decided. I might just temporarily do it under the bonnet, and I could always rewire to inside the car later. Cargo barrier, I need to do a half barrier and either move that full barrier forward behind the front seats and build up some sort of storage system in the back and remove that second row. That way I can then possibly move the compressor out from under the bonnet and in the car and run an air tank, and it'll just be so much better for inflating tyres and that type of thing. And that's where I'm at the moment. So I will probably go solar panel on the rack. I do have a shovel holder. But getting a shovel is proving difficult because the one I want, which is the one I took to the high country on the 90, which broke in half, they're on back order. I haven't seen one yet. So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. That's why I haven't really done any videos, because I'm just waiting. I need to get that spare wheel out from underneath and on the back. So if I do happen to get a flat, I can actually change it, because trying to drag a spare out and winch it down from the wheel carrier under the back end is a horrible exercise, and it actually bottoms out on that wheel. I let Sock drive it on the last trip. Went through a hole about yay deep, and yeah, smacked the spare wheel on the ground. Add a little bit of speed, so got to do that. What else am I doing? Front springs need replacing. I've got to do shocks all around. We did a rear springs at the same time. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep with a 2-inch lift or go with a 3-inch lift yet. Haven't decided. That's where I'm at with the 80 series. So that's why I haven't got much content at the moment, and that's why my content's been a little bit sporadic. Just trying to get it out there makes it difficult. Any questions, guys? Feel free to ask. Jump in whenever you like. Yeah. Other than that, what else am I doing? Oh, yeah. So the 4-wheel drive system problem I had. So when I went away, the diff lock light was flashing on and off, like it wouldn't engage the center diff lock properly. The car had sat for 9 years in a shed, and I'd only done 5,000 k's in that time, and probably never been in 4-wheel drive. So the center diff lock was acting up a little. So, and I was getting heaps of backlash through the drive line. It was almost like it was binding. It was just being really, really bad to drive. So I'm like, well, what do we do here? So got it back to camp after that first day, because it sent me into a salt bush and I scratched my bull bar. I've got to get that repowder coated anyway, so I'm not too worried. So I sat down and I just cycled it with the car off, ignition on, put it into high range, and I just kept pressing the center diff lock light just to cycle the actuator. I seemed to have fixed it. We then put it in low range and drove about 22 k's down the beach in low range. And it did it fine. So let Sock drive it on the way back, and we got stuck a couple of times because he's not used to it. And yeah, just drove straight out of it and off we went. No recovery gear or anything. But I do have a lot of backlash in my rear diff, and I need to get the rear diff rebuilt or a rear locker installed. So haven't decided which way I'm going to go on that yet at all. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Yeah, how's this mic sounding? Hopefully it's sounding alright. Probably sound better than my last stream. I'll stop if I've got any questions. Feel free to ask them now. I'm going to have a quick drink here. And I will be having a giveaway at 2,000 subscribers as well. So that's going to be helpful for anyone that drives a van or a 4-wheel drive. So if you're a van life type of person, I know a few people, maybe. It'll be helpful for that too. It's good. Sounds okay. Is it too bassy, or is it pretty clear, Turka, or? Because I am going to be using these mics for out in the field, which is good. So not very big. It's hard to tell with my computer speakers. Got a little subwoofer down here too, which always adds heaps of bass. Now, if the fuel warning light, 4-wheel drive lights in a 90 are replaceable. Yeah, it's just that just globes on the dash. 100% replaceable. 90 out of 100. So if I was to go and tweak my EQ, kind of hard to do it. Oh, can I do it? Maybe. Give me a sec, let me try something. I'm going through my mix amp at the moment, which I usually use with my gaming headset when I can actually go and game. We've got an update too, nice. Alright, so microphone. Give me a sec here. Did that change anything at all? Does that sound a bit more natural? I had it set for tournament mode, so it blocked out all background noise, but it might have been a bit too aggressive. But yeah, the loco on your dash. Yeah, pop your dash cluster out. All your lights are along the bottom of the dash. I've had to replace, in my 90, I had to replace the, what was it? It was the drive light, D, in the auto, because that blows. Because you always got that on when you're driving, because you're always in drive. That's the one that blows up. Yeah, definitely doable. That's the other thing, I've got to replace a whole bunch of globes in the 80 series as well. I'm going to redo the whole dash. I've got all the globes to do it, and all my switches, just for age. You know, it's a 25-year-old car, so excuse me. So yeah, recovery wise, it's coming along slowly. I'm hoping to do a remote trip mid-year, providing my shoulder's okay. So I'm probably going to go and watch the Fink Desert Race in Northern Territory. That's the plan anyway. So I'll be filming all of that. There's some trips I want to go and do. Probably a solo one or two here or there. Chase it up, no worries man, easy. Yeah, just along the bottom. If you feel warning lights not coming on, then it could just be a faulty sensor on your fuel sender too though. So have a low level sensor on the bottom. It's a little round thing with a wire to it. And when your float gets to a certain level, it triggers that sensor and it turns the light on your dash. So check the globe first, otherwise you're going to have to probably pull the fuel tank and change the sender unit. So yeah, the other thing in 80 series, I have done full underbody rust protection. So I used some stuff called Dymark Metal Pro Rust Converter first, just to cover any areas that had some slight surface rust. It's nothing crazy, and just protect the underbody. So I sprayed all that, and then I hit it with some Dymark Zinc Satin Black top coat, which is anti-corrosive paint. So that'll fix all that side of things up. Looks nice and black under there now, nice and coated. After doing the Coorong, even in an ankle deep water, just splashing that salt up onto the exhaust, and this is how crazy it was. So just the salt on residue on the exhaust caused rust marks on the exhaust. So I've hit that with some anti-corrosive paint, so that rust converter as well, and then sprayed over the top of that. They should keep that going. Yeah, looking forward to this wheel carrier though. So I've got it swinging out on the right hand side, so I don't have to walk around it when I've got the awning up, which is good. Yeah, I'll probably do some more live streams out at camp if you guys are into that. I'm going to get Sock out on a trip again shortly. And for you 90 series guys, I have been working on a modification to fit 33s on a 2-inch lift, without having to buy upper control arms. So managed now on Sock's car with testing and fitting and all that stuff. Managed to get it to fit 32s on a 16x80 offset, so my old 80 series wheels that you saw in the video. They're on there with the mud flaps fitted and no rubbing at all, like there's heaps of room. I just have to get some 33s to go on some 16x80 offset wheels. It's not something I'm going to fork out another $1,500 odd bucks for 33s. So So to keep my eyes peeled for a cheap set of 33s maybe, or I'll buy them over time. But yeah, should be able to get the 33s on a 90 series, not a problem. And retain the mud flaps, and not have to grind the seam weld, and not have to cut back your inner guard liner either. So I'm definitely working on that sort of thing for you 90 series guys. We just got held up last year with a few family issues. Both sock side and myself. So yeah, that's coming. We'll be for some off-road testing next weekend. And we'll see how we go with that. And then, yeah, well, can't reveal exactly what it is yet, but I'm probably going to have to get it engineered. But it depends on the cost of engineering, to whether I persist with it or I just do this as a once-off. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, shoot them my way. I'm open for questions if you guys want to ask me anything. Yeah, it's really just on the 80 series. Sort this rear diff next as well. Get this wheel out from underneath, sort this rear diff, and hopefully that should cure my backlash problems. I did have to change the drive flanges just recently, and that's removed a lot of it, but I've still got heaps there. I don't want to blow up my diff. Oh, excuse me. What else? Oh yeah, if you guys are over on Instagram, I've got a bit of a poll going at the moment, which is a Garmin Overlander versus HEMA HX2. Which would you go? So, which is a better 90 series or 120 series? So just got yourself a 120. In between which one to keep? I'd keep the 120. Rosley, how are you? I've seen you chatting in the chats before. How are you, man? What's going on? Welcome. So Turka, yeah. The I would go a 120 series just because there's more aftermarket support, and I think it's J Race Engineering have released a solid axle swap for that as well. Not cheap, but yeah, you can solid axle swap the 120 series fully engineered if you want to get rid of your independent front. And is your 120 a petrol or diesel? Either way, it's the 120 petrol is going to be far more powerful than the 90 series petrol, and the diesel, I've driven a 120 diesel. Only thing I don't like about the 120 is that it auto switches your main to sub tank when it gets to half a tank, and it pumps fuel back into the other one. You can't manually select a tank. I don't know if there's a fix for it. Yeah, I've driven a 120 diesel and it was not bad. Drove fine. So petrol. 1G RFE, man, good motor. Can't complain with that. Newer car, you're not going to have the ball joint issues that the 90 series have. It's going to be reliable anyway. Heaps more aftermarket support for it. I said in my 90 series I was running 120 rear shocks and springs to suit my 300 kilo constant load, and they were good shocks. Yeah, J Race. Let me see if I can find it actually. Give me a sec and I'll post a link up in chat, or I'll bring it up on the screen. Yeah, let's see. Now let me see if I can bring this up. Give me a sec while I switch. I knew I was going to lose that. Give me a sec, I've got to add the audio into next screen. Right, alright, should have audio. Alright, give me a sec now. Window capture. Righto. So this here is the 120 Sas swap for the Prado. I'll switch over to chat in a minute. Probably is going to let me do it this way. Probably not. Now where are we at? What's it doing to me? No, wrong screen. Wrong screen. What the J-Race one? Why are you giving me that? There we go. Jesus. Okay. So, get this to center here so we can have a look. So this here is the 120 Sas conversion for the 120 Prado. So as you'll see here, and I'll bring up a picture if it will let me. Not going to let me. Gives you an idea of the flex you can get out of a 120. Maybe I'll have to zoom this in. Why would you not? Why would you not? Let me zoom up here. Oh, there we go. All right. Give you an idea. So, all my chat's all over the place. I can't see anything. Holy crap. 120 petrol is way too thirsty. Good power though. Yeah, well, that all comes down to tuning though as well. So, you know, if you tune it properly, you'll probably be fine. And I get this all to fit on the screen, probably. Here we go. Alright. So. No, you're not going to let me do it that way. Why is it being a pain in the backside? I tell you I hate computers sometimes. Righto. Alright, so the stage 1 kit. All the key components get the inversion done. So complete diff, all brackets and towers, radius arms, coilovers and dampener, drag link and the panhard. So that'll get you going. Stage 2, it also includes the ABS kit, genuine radius arm bushes, swivel hub rebuild kits, wheel bearings, all gaskets and seals, custom brake lines, all nuts and bolts, machine coilover spacers, because it obviously will run the adjustable coilover front end. Stage 3 here, the complete kit with installation, drive-in, drive-out, engineering compliance. So full professional installation, professional 2-pack industrial paint, chassis sealing and rust prevention, adjustments and wheel alignment, Queensland mod plate. Don't live in Queensland, I don't know if you're able to get it engineered. Your prices. So you're looking at from 9,900 for stage 1, and 12,900 for stage 2. And drive in, drive out, I think I'd seen it was like something like 22 grand drive in, drive out. So, but yeah, it's nice looking for sure. Yeah, it gives you an idea of the extent they go to. So it looks like it's almost 80 series radius arm by the looks of it. Though I would say that they're made in house, those arms to suit. So. Fox shocks in the front end. If you've got the money to throw at a 120, that's what I would do. But yeah, there you go. Definitely interesting for the 120 Prado. You don't get that type of thing in a 90 series. Look, the reason I didn't go another 90 series was 1, I couldn't find one. And 2, aftermarket support was nearly non-existent. Said my bash plates I had on, which so my bash plates, the front plate anyway, is on a Hilux Surf in Melbourne, I believe. Cyan Fitzgerald, I think his name is, on Instagram. So he's got my bash plates and he grabbed my suspension, which apparently works fine. I wouldn't have trusted it just because of how many times I rolled in it. But yeah, he picked the suspension up pretty cheap. and he paid I think 200 for the plate. The plate set up, and I think 500 bucks for the shocks and springs. I personally wouldn't have picked up those shocks just because I wouldn't have known the condition, especially how the car looked afterwards. But he says it works fine, and he's been sending it. So yeah, he ended up with the old the MRR suspension. 80 series is getting superior in it. And yeah, that's where I'll be going from there. So yeah, Turker, yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? So yeah, so Rosley, what do you drive? Do you drive a Prado or an 80 series? What do you got? I'm just getting back to the 120 stuff as well, Turker. Long range tanks, bash plates, suspension, draw systems, cargo barriers, water setups, dual battery setups. They're much easier to come by. Much easier. So with the 90 series, I had to custom everything. So I had a custom bracket for my DC charger under the bonnet. Had the custom bash plates from Nick over in Perth. Had the custom Dobinson suspension to make everything work. Money Petrol, nice. So I like the Prados. If I could have found another one, I probably would have, but then the 80 series came up pretty cheap. So, you know, I paid 17 for the 80 series. And that's, as you saw it, with my first initial introducing the rig video. What you saw there is how I picked it up. And the price of vehicles had gone up substantially since then. I think I'm looking at like 10 or 12 for a low-K petrol V6 Prado. And even then I would be looking for a VX Grande anyway. And there was just none around. So take the GXL. Put a air inflation lumbar support in the 80 series. Much better than what the 90 series lumbar support was. So it's got its benefits. 80 series unfortunately is more capable off-road, but the 90 series is more comfortable to drive. So they have their pros and cons. 90 series is a hell of a lot smaller inside. 80 series is a hell of a lot bigger. Diesel wise, I'm getting about 12.5 per 100. Highway, I don't know yet because I haven't done a long range trip. But yeah, I think I pulled almost 1100 Ks out of the stock tanks at one point. Speedo is now corrected with the 33s, so I'll have to see how that goes. But said nothing wrong with the 90s. Depends which way you want to go. So Rosley, I hear cars are hella expensive over in Malaysia. What's your Prado worth if you were to buy one? I'll do the conversion for people here, it'll blow a few minds. And you can only keep them for like 10 years or something, and then they get crushed or something, is that right? Something along those lines? Or your tax goes up super expensive to try and keep it on the road? I believe it's something like that anyway. Just to give you guys an idea, a guy I used to chat to when I used to play my video games, which I haven't been able to do, can't game with a bad shoulder. I think he was something ridiculous like 50 or 60 grand for a Subaru Liberty. I think it was. Something crazy like that. So if you didn't have your Prado and I didn't have my 80, what would you guys buy? What would be your ideal rig? Troopy. Good choice. Would you correct the wheel track in the rear end? Or would you leave it with standard leaves? Ford Ranger? Really? What, just a regular Ranger or a Ranger Raptor? I couldn't do a ute. I don't know why I couldn't do a ute. Definitely couldn't do a ute. Utes just don't appeal to me. I'm a wagon type of guy. I'd probably be with Lurker on this one and go with a Troopy as well. I would probably go though HZJ78, and I would swap that with a 1HD FTE, just because the VDJ79s I've had reliability problems with them. Get a correction done. Raptor, your mate just got one? Yeah, one of my customers at work has a Raptor. I've seen videos of him just sending it over little jumps and stuff, and he drives it, doesn't baby it. He loves that thing. It definitely look good, 100%. You can get those custom grills for just a regular Ranger to make it look like a Raptor as well. Or same style of grill anyway. Gee, it's already been like 45 minutes. I can ramble on. Good. Yeah, I figured I'd do a stream this week because I just don't have any content to put out. If you guys are over on Instagram though, head over there and follow me. That's where I put most of my photo updates. So if you don't have Instagram, maybe just sign up for an account. You don't have to post anything yourself, but not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. If you jump over there on Instagram, you'll find me. It should work. See if it works. Yep, that'll work. That's my Instagram. If you guys are interested in any merch, I'm finishing my original logo run for the 90 series stuff. So I've kept it going for a while, but I haven't had much interest in the merch store. I don't know if you guys want merch. It does come out of the US, so it does take a while, but that was the easiest way for me to do things. Unfortunately, with COVID, prices gone up on everything, but that's my store over there if you want to go have a look at it as well. I've put some of the newer designs up there today, of the new shirt, which is the second one in along the top on the featured products. I've got the Team 90 series shirts up there. I've got the original hoodies, still got the original t-shirts obviously on there. Got some women's wear as well. Some of this stuff's just logo on the front, nothing on the back. Up to you. Not pushing you to buy it, but you know, anything helps to support the channel. Anything I make from adverts and that type of thing on my YouTube videos goes back into the channel as well. So don't think I'm just pocketing it, because yeah, I'm improving it. Like these wireless mics, they weren't cheap. They're $300 for a pair of mics, so not cheap at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you need to contact me, Facebook is probably the best way to go. On there, or yeah, message me on Insta. That works as well. If you need any advice or whatever on your builds. Yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. Hope everything's hope the stream's been alright. Yeah. Any other questions before I finish up here and head off? Got work in the morning, physio tomorrow afternoon. All good fun. You know, if you want me to do more live streams, let me know. I'll do more. I don't get a whole lot of people that come into these, so that's why I don't do them very often. But yeah, you know, when I'm out on the road, if I've got reception and I've got my laptop, definitely be some live streams happening for sure. Better with 2 people than it is with just me rambling. Yeah. Jeez, my nose is itchy. Righto. Alright, I'm going to end that one there. Thanks everyone for swinging past. Yeah, I'm trying to do something with the merch store stuff and try and base it out of Australia, because obviously most of my viewers are Australian and it'll be a hell of a lot cheaper. But that's where I'm at the moment with that side of things. My hoodie's been really good quality, and so is my t-shirt. Did I get my t-shirt here? Might have my t-shirt. Did my t-shirt on Redbubble, I think, which was average. So, not great. But the hoodie though, hoodie's perfect. So, anyway guys, take it easy, and I will catch you either when I'm out doing a trip or when I'm doing some more work or changing the diff or something. I might do a live stream there. We'll see how we go. So, anyway guys, have a good one. Catch you next time.